In April 2021, there was a report published that said that women in the pandemic had lost $800 billion in revenue.
Wow.
That should get us all mad. And so my joy in life is to see a woman stand up for herself, speak up, show up boldly, make a difference in the world, because we women, we do it differently.
Hello and welcome to Hello Moxie. I am so delighted to be joined today by Suzanne Longstreet. Suzanne is a lovely, oh my gosh, I already lost my train of thought. Suzanne, see, this is how it goes. Let's try it again. Okay, Julie, my podcast editor, we're going to do a round two. Okay. Hello and welcome to Hello Moxie. Today I am joined by the delightful Suzanne Longstreet. Suzanne, I would love for you to tell our listeners a little bit about who you are and what is lighting you up.
My name is Suzanne Longstreet. As you know, I am when I introduce myself to people for the first time, I say, oh, I'm a business coach, because that's the easiest way to explain what I do. But what I do is so much more, as I actually go in and I work with people to clear their mindset, to reconnect with the identity of who they truly are, so that they can go out into the world and do what they're meant to be doing and have all that they desire. Most of my clients come to me because they've heard through the grapevine that I'm really good with money goals. And it's not how I started to market myself, but that's what I've become known as. So one of my clients called me the millionaire maker. And while I can help and have helped dozens of women become millionaires in their business, I prefer millionaire activator, because I want to activate the millionaire gene inside of my clients.
Why do you want to activate the millionaire activator gene in your clients?
You're going to hear a rant.
Oh, I love it. Rant away, my friend.
Yeah, and sometimes it brings me to tears. It pisses me off that women don't charge what they're worth. And when they do charge good money, they make sure everybody else is paid, but they're not paying themselves. And if those two components are happening, they are charging what they're worth and they're paying themselves, then sometimes they're just not stepping out more boldly and showing up more boldly. So it annoys the heck out of me, trying not to use F-bombs. It annoys the heck out of me that in April 2021, there was a report published, and I'll find the details behind it, but a report published that said that women in the pandemic, so remember, it only started in March, April of 2020. So in the year before, women had lost $800 billion in revenue.
Wow.
That should get us all mad. And so my joy in life is to see a woman stand up for herself, speak up, show up boldly, make a difference in the world, because we women, we do it differently. When we improve ourselves and we make more money, it goes out into the world more. Like, look at Melinda Gates. She's out there in the world. She's doing everything she can to, Bill and Melinda are doing everything they can to help the world. So that's the kind of millionaire activation I want to happen in people, so that they can be who they truly are, do what they're meant to do, and have all they're meant to have and more.
I love that too. That beautiful, we do it differently. That's so beautiful, that observation that when women make money, it goes out into the world more. And I think that's just like a beautiful vision that you have, is that the more that you can help women reframe some of these negative thought patterns they have about money and their worth, that as they start to build wealth and become millionaires, then that is going to spread itself out into the world more And that's, it's a it's a beautiful vision for the world. And I think as women, we need to be reminded of that bigger picture of it, right? Like that this stepping up and using, boldly stepping up and charging what you're worth and believing that you're worth it, it has a greater impact than just yourself.
Mhm.
It's going to have a massive impact on the world around you and the people who come behind you. But
Exactly.
sometimes I think we lose track of that as women. We get caught up in the weeds.
We do. And,
Yeah.
I'm working with a client right now who's, "Ah, I have enough. I have a good life. I have enough."
Mm.
And I want to get over that too. It's like, no, no, no. This is not about enough.
Mm. Yes. Oh. Why do you think it is that women struggle so much with wanting, being okay with wanting?
Culture, society,
Mhm.
what we've been told,
Mhm.
for the guys, it's like, go, do, be, have, hustle, hustle, hustle. You can have it all. And then when they get money, so I have a great example. One of my clients' fathers has done very well in his business, which is great. So when a woman does really well in her business, she's figuring out how to give more.
Mm.
This one example is he's just bought a $400,000 custom car. I don't know about you. I haven't heard of too many females that I know who go out and buy a $400,000 custom car. Now,
Mm.
they might go out and buy a $35,000 Tory Burch purse. So is that any different? I don't know, but I don't know. It's not
There is a
$400,000.
stigma. There is a stigma around it, right? Like as a woman, there's a stigma that if you have money, you're going to spend it that way.
Yeah,
There's a stigma.
there's a
Yeah.
stigma. And I think it's the societal, and we also have been taught from little girls to be humble, not show our
Mhm.
emotions, stay quiet, smile, be pretty, and all of that stuff. Those are all the messages I heard. Little girls don't show emotions that are negative. You be happy. Just be happy.
Oh my gosh, so true. And if you do, you're unstable or there's something wrong with you or you're crazy,
Yeah.
right? Like,
And what is the biggest thing that we're told when we're in corporate? Don't cry. Don't let them make see you sweat. Don't let them make see you cry.
yeah, it's true. It's like the system wasn't built for us. Yeah. And the only way that's going to change is if we collectively challenge a lot of these norms and systemic, you know, and start asking the question, well, why? Why is it that way? Why can't I cry
Right.
in a meeting in corporate?
Yeah. So, I appreciate the why question. A lot of us want to know the why. Some of us will never know the answer to the why. So, one of the things that they taught us in the world of neuro-linguistic programming is
Mm.
never ask why. We
Tell
never, because that gets us into analysis paralysis. Why will always get us into analysis paralysis. Why? And it's funny because when you were asking me the why questions, I found myself going up into my conscious mind. I'm like, okay, why? Come back. And so a better way to, and we can ask why questions, but in a different
Mhm,
way. It's how can I? How is
mhm,
it possible that this is happening? How is it possible that women lost $800 billion in revenue in
mhm,
2020? Well, then it's a lot easier rather than answering the why. Well, why did they all do that? I don't know why each individual did it, but I can tell you
mm,
generally how they did it is that generally the women were more, it was easier for women to not work and take care of the kids. It was easier, or the elders. It was easier for the female to adapt. It was just easier.
I love that reframe. Asking how can I instead of why.
Yeah. Or how is it possible? Or how did
How
that
is
happen?
it possible?
Yeah.
Or
We can
how did
get
that
around the why. We can get to the answer, but in a different way. Because what also happens in your brain is it opens up curiosity and wonder,
Mhm.
just where we want to be. It's like, oh, how is it possible that this magnificent person in front of me is struggling with this so much? Rather than, why is she struggling so much?
Yeah, I can feel the difference.
Right?
Yeah. It's an opening. It's a question that opens you up to possibilities. Yeah.
And what it does is it gets us out of the 10% of our conscious mind and
Mm.
connects us in with the unconscious mind, which is really running the show.
Mm.
And it starts to go to work and go, oh, how is that possible? And it starts what's called, here's a big long term for you, transderivational search.
Okay.
How is that possible? Wait a second. Where in my history? How can this happen? How can we make this different? Rather than why, it just stops in the conscious mind. How goes into the unconscious mind.
That's beautiful. So, what have you noticed most about the women that you work with? Like, what are some of the stories that we tell ourselves about our worth? And when you start to coach them and get them to like get curious about that, what does that process look like, that
Yeah,
journey?
great question. Okay, so oftentimes everybody's different. And this is
Yeah.
this is the biggest challenging that I have in my marketing. It's like, okay, Suzanne, tell us what's keeping us stuck. It's like, oh gosh. Every single person I've worked with has a different story that they've told themselves
Mm,
that creates a different meaning that is causing them to be stuck.
mm,
And so the process to do that is I ask them, why are they here? Why are you here? And they say, well, I'm not doing well in business. Okay. Why are you here? Well, this is happening. Okay. Why else? Why else? Why else? I ask it for over an hour and a half.
mm,
That same question. What I'm doing is I'm getting them from their conscious mind
mhm,
into their subconscious, semi-conscious mind, into their subconscious mind, into their unconscious mind. Unconscious mind is where the real answers are. So the more I ask the same question, the more they dig deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until I often hear these words, Suzanne, I've never told anybody this. And that's when I go, ding, 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 we're on gold. And then, or it's a throwaway comment of, uh, you know, something happened. I'm like, okay, tell me more about that. Like I'm always listening. What is going on? Tell me more about that. And every person has a different experience that has happened to them that has created a story in their brain, that has created meaning, that is stopping them somehow.
mm. Yeah.
Do you want a couple of examples?
I mean, I'm just thinking about for myself, honestly,
Oh,
as you're talking about that. Yeah, like I can be vulnerable and share my own examples. Like as you were talking about that, I think one of the stories I tell myself is, okay, so I grew up and I had a very successful father. He was an entrepreneur, very successful. And and he was also the type of man that if he gave you something, he wanted you to know that it came from him. And it was a very interesting dynamic. And so, like, and he was always the great benevolent giver of whatever resources, right? But he made you feel as though, like, I'm giving this to you and I don't want you to forget it, kind of a thing.
ooh.
Yeah, yeah. And so there's a lot to unpack there. Even as I'm talking about it, I'm like, there's more there that I haven't really fully like unpacked or untethered. But a lot of it is a sense of worth. Like, am I worthy enough to ask for more or ask for anything
Yeah.
outside of like that situation? It's like the asking or even the wanting more is like not safe because I was always told if I wanted something that you need to earn it or you need to deserve it or it vary. So I think that's a story. One story I have around money is like it's always uncomfortable for me to ask for something.
Yeah. And then to receive it.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
What are some of the stories you've heard or
Oh,
some of the stories that you've heard that is an example from your
I have heard multiple stories, including horrific traumas.
yeah.
And and that's how I was marketing myself several years ago, is actually as I help you heal trauma, which will help you make more money. And
Mm.
because I've seen it happen over and over again. My own story is I went through this trainings. I was a business coach, and like I called myself a mindset coach, but I didn't have any background or training. I was just reading Wayne Dyer and watching, Marianne Williamson and all of these lovely people. And so I fancied myself, because I'd read really great books, that I fancied myself a mindset coach. And then I took all the neuro-linguistic programming and
Mhm.
hypnosis courses, etc., and went, oh, wow, I was just playing at that. And so some of the things that I've heard from one client, her mom had gone through trauma and she had been raped. And my client grew up with the echoes of the mother's trauma.
Mhm.
And so it was playing out in her big time in that she wouldn't post on social media. She was a marketing expert,
Mm.
but she wouldn't post on social media.
Mm.
And so she was holding herself back because of all these the meaning that she'd given to the story that she had created in her world. And then once we cleared that, we only did a couple of sessions. Once she cleared that, um, she, she was out there and showing up more, and now she's a best-selling author, a millionaire. She couldn't get past 120 when we first started a year, 120K, and now she's over seven figures and has a
Wow.
multiple level training company, et cetera, et cetera. Another one just locked herself in the bathroom when she was 3 years old.
Mm.
And when we changed the meaning for that and we, went into it and cleared it, everything was different. In fact, she shared with me after we were working together for a few months, she said, Suzanne, somebody asked me, they heard that I was working with you. We were all in the same coaching group. And she said, they said, what did she do that was different? And she goes, I don't know, but everything's changed.
Mm.
What did she do? Nothing, but everything. So even people that I've talked to who have been marketers are trying to figure out, I have no idea, but something's changed. Something shifted so fundamentally inside of me. I see myself differently.
Yeah, it started from within rather than like this external, okay, do these things. It's more
Right.
like you're teaching them from within to change their entire self sense of self and being so that they're
Yeah.
showing up in the world differently without it being like a playbook of like, I'm going to read these books on how to charge more money or how to negotiate, be a better negotiator, right? It's just
Yeah.
if you believe it and it comes from within, it just bleeds itself out into the world. I so believe that. Yeah.
Oh, like my example was I was running post traumatic stress disorder after my first marriage had failed.
Mm.
It was the first husband was incredibly abusive. And so I was running around with undiagnosed post traumatic stress disorder
Mm.
for 20 years.
I'm so
And,
sorry.
and I'm sorry, I didn't, yeah. Um, So finally, I found the solution in these tools, neuro-linguistic programming, and one of my colleagues specialized in PTSD, having gone through the war, and he worked with people who were suffering PTSD, and he recognized many of those symptoms inside of me, and he said, "You're running PTSD," and I said, "I am." He goes, "Yeah, you are. And not only are you running PTSD, you're running complex PTSD." I'm like, "Oh my god. Okay, can we clear that?" He goes, "Yeah." We worked together, and that was August of 2016. And then what I noticed is the before times, before it was cleared, I would go out to a networking event and go, "Oh, please work with me. Oh God, I want to say the right thing, and oh, please work with me, and oh, I'm going to charge too much." Oh, to this woman, I remember talking to her. Her name was Liz, and she goes, "Hey, I heard you're running a training next week." And I said, "Yeah, I am. Do you want to come?" She goes, "Yeah." Okay, great. See you there. It was a
Mm.
different person.
Yeah.
There was no, what do I
Yeah.
say? What, that? No, the gripping fear to, sure, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. What an amazing shift.
My revenue increased 5 times.
Wow. That's amazing. That's really powerful, Suzanne. Oh,
Mhm.
wow. So, okay, I got to know a little bit more about this awareness. So, once women are aware of their stories, how do you then, like, what is your kind of process for helping them start to shift those stories?
Yeah, there's about a bunch of different techniques. I don't do so techniques that are proven techniques that have been
Mhm.
developed based in psychology,
Yeah.
and most of them generally are about going back in time to the first event
Mm.
and it's a process of imagination. So it's like, so for my client who had locked herself in the bathroom when she was 3 years old, accidentally, um, then we went back to that event, and then we went before the event, and we got what she needed to have learned from the event so that she could let go of the meaning that she had given to it. And then we played it out so that we brought her back to now and then out into the future and imagined a different future. And then all of a sudden she was, which is essentially timeline therapy, created by Dr. Tad James. And she just went, well, okay, I was in the bathroom for a couple of minutes. Okay. So it took a little
Mm,
parents to find me and remember that I was in the bathroom. Okay. I'm still worthy. I'm still whole. I'm still safe. I can keep
mhm.
myself safe. In fact, I was very safe in the bathroom when I was stuck in the bathroom. It's just about when they have that new realization, the unconscious mind doesn't need to send it up anymore and go, remember this time. I want to keep you safe.
Yeah.
Remember this time. I want to keep you safe. Remember this time. Because what happens a lot of the times is when an event happened, everything from rape, molestation, and worse, can keep us, the unconscious mind goes, oh, that happened. We want to just keep you safe. So
Yep.
don't show up too much. Don't,
Mhm.
fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of being too visible, fear of being too much, fear. And it says, okay, we can't do it. And literally it stops us.
Yep.
And I say us because I've had instances where it's like, oh, another tendril of fear. Great. Use a technique, go back, clear it, and then come back. And you show up differently. That's why it's so different. It's like nothing changes, but everything changes because we've released what wasn't serving us because the unconscious mind says, oh, that's clear. We don't need to worry about that one anymore.
Yeah. 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 The body, the mind and the body is a powerful protector. And it's
Yes.
about reteaching it that, okay, you don't need to, I'm okay. I don't
Yeah.
need this other part of myself to protect me from this danger that I see, this signal that I see as danger. It's
And
interesting.
we can't do it with just the words, like, because for
Mhm.
years, all through the 90s, all through the early 2000s into 2016, when I would just say, I am worthy, I am safe, I am whole, but I didn't believe it.
You got to feel it
And
in your
so
body.
it's like putting a band-aid over cancer. It's like, that's not
Totally.
gonna
You got to feel it. The body has to feel it. Yep. Totally. Yeah, that embodied mindfulness is so important. Uh,
Yeah.
so important for any woman who's trying to reset their uh their mindset. And it's more than just traditional mindfulness, which is just like, okay, I'm just gonna feel the sensation and let it pass. It's like, no, let's get curious about what that sensation is telling me. What is that sensation? What is that pit in my stomach? What does that mean to me? What is the story behind it? And then trying to untether it rather than I'm feeling a pit in my stomach. I'm gonna let that go now.
Yeah. Let me feel into that and I'll meditate. Yeah. I've tried all of those things. I used to lead a meditation group. I've done Reiki. I learned to be a Reiki. It was like I did all of these things. I'm like, these aren't working. Okay, but give
Mm,
it a shot. Bach flower remedies. I've done those. Like all of these great things, they're all great tools and they help. And I've done tapping. Like they are helpful. But what I've really found is the neuro-linguistic programming goes down deeper and pulls out the roots.
mm,
So you can plant new seeds.
very cool. So I would love to hear some success stories from you about like when women start to see these changes. You've shared a few about how women have gone from like 120,000 to now seven figures in revenue. Um, what what have you noticed? Like, what does it sound like when a woman owns her worth in her voice? What are they?
Okay, I've got
What are the word? What are they saying, and what are they doing, and how are they showing up
yeah.
differently?
So I'm going to do a little pitch here. So in this
Yeah.
book, Millionaire Codes, which is on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Indigo in Canada, um, it is a bestseller in multiple categories on Amazon.
Woo! Yeah.
Yeah, we even we launched this year in April of 2025, and um, we've sold already 1,200 copies, which for a self-published
Wow.
book is high.
Congratulations. Yes.
Thank you. And I have a picture of our book in the number one slot, and the Mel Robbins "Let Them" theory is second. It was like, yes. that was
Very
exciting.
cool.
It was a fun moment. So in this book are a bunch of testimonials around this that I'm going to share with you. The one that I find the most fun is Sarah Cannell. So Sarah Cannell is my co-author. She was my client before becoming, and I had been writing this book and writing it and writing it and writing it. And Sarah leads the Thought Leader Academy, and she gets us thought leaders published. And I was in her group. I was working with her as my client, and then I joined her group, and then we collaborated to create this book together. So, having said that, a little bit of background around this. So, the success story question is that Sarah came to me in August 2021, and she had consistently been making about $300,000 a year,
Mhm.
and she was on track to make about $500,000 in 2021. So, but she really wanted to get to a million. And she'd been throwing everything at it. She worked with me. We started in late August. She said, I want to get to seven figures this year. I said, we can do it. She goes, okay. Kind of not believing it, kind of hoping for it. And so we did the techniques. 110 days later, she texted me and said, Suzanne, I have reached 1,009,000
Wow.
in revenue this year, in sales revenue this year.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
amazing. 110 days is what it took.
110 days.
Mhm.
So she had many things that she was doing already. She was in the doing. She was doing. But what shifted was how she saw herself, her identity.
Mm. Mhm.
And she really believed that she could do it rather than just doing the actions that everybody was telling her to do. She had multiple coaches. She really embodied it. We visualized it together. We did a technique of visualization out into the future. We future pace everything. We cleared. She had some multiple traumas happen, and which she talks about, and we cleared those individual traumas, and she just saw herself differently. She let go of the family beliefs that had been put onto her that were like, keep small,
Yeah.
don't be too big, don't be too loud, and she just shifted. She just raised her prices, invited more people,
Mm.
created a new group that was a higher level mastermind. Just incredible.
Mm.
So that's,
Amazing.
yeah. So she just behaved differently after we did the clearings, without without overthinking. That's
Mhm.
another symptom that a lot of my clients have. They're stuck. They're overthinking. They're doing busy work rather
Mm.
than visionary work.
Yeah.
uh, Hanging on to control rather than delegating. There's a lot of different things. They're in their zone of competence rather than their zone of genius.
Yep.
Um, so that's one story. The other one is Molly Jones. She's also in here. She she came to me. She had a lot of family challenges. So core nuclear family
Mhm.
challenges, sibling challenges, and some even though her father had passed, some challenges with him. And we cleared all of that. And she's now multiple six figures, multiple seven figures business. So from mid six figures to multiple seven figures. And even when a project didn't happen and she was going to lose 16K in revenue per month, she just went, yeah, well, that one didn't happen, but I know more is coming, Suzanne, which is totally different from when we first started working together. It's like,
It
yeah,
it's interesting. It's like a shift from the scarcity mindset and fear, operating out of fear, to being able to see that there's abundance, and this core belief that there's abundance for me. But it's almost like, how do I say it? The way you're just, it's like you just know that it's going to happen and it's going to be okay, and there's not any sort of like fight or flight response, or nervous system reaction to it. Either way, you're just like calm and present and focused and aware that I have what it takes and it's
yeah,
going to work out.
yeah. And people label that resilience and
Mhm.
determination and confidence. And whatever the word is, it's the meaning. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that happened. All right, I got through it. I've done it before, but
Hmm.
future pacing failure. They're just like, the next step, something else will happen. It always works out.
Very cool. Oh, I love it.
I've got one
Okay,
more for you if I can.
what's that?
I've got one more for
Yes,
you.
please.
This one's been tickling at me for the whole conversation. So I'm working with a woman right now, and marketing person, $500,000 in revenue. Doing, and all of us, and trying to figure out how to get to a million. And she's been trying to figure out how to get to a million for years. Now we're at the beginning phase. We're only a couple months in, and she we were 3 months in, so it was September 3rd. We started working on June 3rd. It was September 3rd of this year. And she said to me, Suzanne, I'm just seeing it differently. I said, what do you mean? She goes, well, in the past, I was always like, how the heck am I ever going to get to $1 million? I just can't see it. How is it going to happen? And it's like she was like stuck in the grinding of it.
Mm,
To, well, it's easy. I'm just going to create the $1 million business and then work it from as if it's already happening. And I went, and that's exactly what you want. So that's one of the best shifts that I've seen,
yep.
the most tangible, that it's easy to explain. It's from trying to push the rope to pull the rope.
Yeah, I love that. She's already thinking like the business I have is
Yeah.
$1 million business. Not
Yeah.
I need to get there. I'm already there. What decisions am I going to be making that show that I'm already there? And
Does
then
this,
that.
yeah, like Sarah, one of the things that she would say is, would the seven figure business owner be doing this email? No.
Mhm.
Would the seven figure business owner be trying to go out and get podcasts? No. They would hire
Right.
somebody. With all of these things.
Yes, exactly. Beautiful. I love it, Suzanne. Your work is so important.
Thank you.
I would love to know who is a woman in history who has inspired you.
She's still here.
Yay. Love it.
Sally Fields,
Oh, I love her. Oh my gosh,
right?
nobody's mentioned her on our show yet. That's beautiful. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so tell me about Sally Fields. Like when did you fall in love with her? How has she inspired you in your life? And what are some of the values she has that you share with her?
Okay. So I'm really going to date myself, but I loved watching her in The Flying Nun when I was a kid.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen it. I'm gonna have to watch it. The Flying Nun. Okay.
The Flying Nun. I think what I've always loved about her is that she's self effacing, she's vulnerable, she's willing to show her emotions. She won't let people um, put her in a pigeonhole. She's
Mm,
constantly breaking barriers and
mm,
redefining herself, and but still staying humble. And I love her 1985 Oscar-winning speech when she said, "You like me right now. You really like me," and and you just feel that, and that's what I want for all women. Is,
mhm,
oh, you like me. You really like me. And
mhm.
so that they can see it, because so many women walk around with the knots, not good enough, not willing. So yeah, so those are all the things. She's showing up with vulnerability, perfecting her craft, continuing to do more, continuing to challenge herself, continuing to spread her wings, and um, and she shows up with vulnerability. I think she's really, and I think my favorite story is I was watching an outtake from a movie that we watched. Oh gosh, she was in it with I've forgotten the name of it. It was just a couple of years ago. Guy Fieri was in it, who I adore. Um, Sally Fields,
Mm.
and I think Jane Fonda. 80 for Brady.
Okay.
And it's a great, cute little flick. And Sally Fields was in it. And afterwards, Guy Fieri was being interviewed, and he said, "I got to meet Sally Field, like Sally Field." And she was just as excited to meet him. She says, "I got to spend time with Guy Fieri." And I love that.
Mm.
She's still a lovely, relatable human being.
Yes, she does come across that way. And I love the vulnerability. Every role I've ever seen her in a movie, she just is not afraid to go to that place at all. And that's what I think makes her such a beautiful actress. But also she teaches us so much because she's able to go to that vulnerable place. Like
Mhm.
it's very, very powerful, the connection that you feel when she's like, immediately thinking of Steel Magnolias at the very end, at when her daughter has passed away and she has that moment with her friends and she's just so vulnerable. And it just changes something in you when you watch something so powerful like that. Changes the way you see the world. It changes the way you see grief, changes the way you see your relationships with other people and how complex we are and all those things because she's willing to be vulnerable. Really powerful. Mm.
And what a beautiful transition for us when we're showing up fully authentically as ourselves, when we're being fully vulnerable in the moment. People feel that because we are mostly energy. We can feel other people's energies when we're open to it. And
Yeah.
that's more powerful, I think.
So true. Mm. I love it. Oh my gosh, Suzanne, this has been such a great conversation. Well, I'd love to close our show today and ask you, okay, so our show is Hello Moxie. What does the word Moxie mean to you?
Courage.
Mm, yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I
And we want
agree.
to, yeah. Good. Okay, good. I like it. I like courage. And, because we are always, and you're talking to people, and this audience is the groundbreakers,
Mhm,
the people leading change,
mhm.
and we need the courage and the moxie to go out into the world and be our true authentic selves so that we can do what is fully aligned with our center and our core so that we can have the income and impact that we are looking for.
Oh, so beautiful. It aligns so beautifully with the work we're doing, the Moxie method, and just like this whole, you know, truth that it starts from deep within you. And as you trust your own inner wisdom, then organically, naturally, you're going to move and show up in the places that you're meant to be in the most beautiful way possible. But it really does start with that like really connecting to that inner wisdom that you have within you and
Yeah.
believing it.
And there's too many people out there who are doing all the right things and continuing to do it, and reading all the right books and watching all the right shows and hiring all the right people, and they're still feeling stuck.
Yeah.
They're still not. That's the person that needs to come and talk to me.
Yes. Well, tell our listeners, how can they get a hold of you,
Mhm.
and where can they reach you if they'd like to connect with you and learn more?
Yeah, so my website is successandclarity.com.
Mhm.
I sent it to you, so you'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
And the best way is to book a clarity session with me. It's free. You'll find time on your busy calendar, and we'll talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have a realization right in the first call,
Mhm.
and that's wonderful. So yeah, so that's the best way to reach me. I'm trying to be on LinkedIn and Instagram.
I feel you.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I feel you there.
I'm looking
Yeah.
for one-on-one connection. I really do. I work with people one-on-one.
Mm.
So, because I'm not really comfortable myself talking about my past trauma
Mm.
in a group coaching environment. So we need that one-on-one support because often I'm the only person that leaders and business owners have to share some of the things that aren't going well.
Absolutely, and I can vouch for that myself. I have an executive coach who has I just, oh my gosh, it was like kismet meeting her.
Mm.
And it is what you said is so true. Like if you're a woman listening to this and you don't have that courage companion, that coach who can really be there to show up for you and be there to pick you up when you're going through really tough times, you can feel safe to be vulnerable with, you can show those really kind of like uncomfortable sides to. It is life altering when you can have that person who will show up for you in that way and just let you be vulnerable and show you your darkest moments and be able to help you through it. It is incredible. I can vouch for it's incredibly life altering. And so I'm really excited for the work that you're doing. It's important work. And yeah, I'm excited for. So anyone listening, you need to connect with Suzanne. and let her work her magic with you. If you've been struggling with, you know, you want to, if you're out there and you want to get paid more and you know, Suzanne's your girl. She's going to help you know that you believe it, right?
Yeah.
You're worth it. So,
Yeah, we all are. You
yeah,
just got to believe it first.
totally. Oh my gosh, so great. Well, thank you for being our guest today. And until next time, say hello, Moxie. Hey. All
Thank
right, Suzanne, that was great. Thank you.
you so much,
Yes.
Nicole.
Yes.
Amazing.
Such a great, so many great. I mean, you were just on fire. Like such
Oh,
wisdom. I
you're so kind.
can't wait for all the pull quotes. So I will let you know when we will have your episode going live. It's looking like it'll probably be we are like it's probably going to be in January because we have so many on the docket that are scheduled. So, but if you have anything that you want us to put in the show notes, please send it to me. I want to make sure. Like, when is your new book going to be published? Do you know if it'll be when the publish date is yet?
Well, first of all, I've got to figure out the title. Because I just, yeah, I'm talking to publishers right now
Mm.
and trying to figure out the best, but it'll probably be, I'd like it to be January, February.
Oh wow. Okay, great.
That would be
So
perfect timing. So
yeah, it would
when
be
I
good
say,
timing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will let you know.
Okay.
You had also mentioned that possibly me coming in and being an expert in your group, which I would love to
Yes.
still do.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
however, I can support you. If I don't know if you're waiting for me to send you something, I can't remember.
No, no, I it's on me. I need to send you. I've been like, yeah, it's on me to send you. So let me send you the date for the workshop. And this was all about like fear specifically and knowing when to step
Ooh,
into fear. The last time we talked, you were talking about how, especially if people have experienced trauma, you have to be very thoughtful and careful about like knowing when it's right to embrace fear and step into it. And I was really intrigued by that. I think that would bring a lot of value. So
yeah.
that specific workshop is going to be in, let's see, November, December, in February. It's in February. I'll send you the date for it and I'll send you what the topic is. And there's actually a book reading we have that they're going to read beforehand. So that will
Oh,
help
good.
you kind of, yeah. And then you can let me know kind of, um, I guess maybe take a look at it, see what you'd recommend, and then we can scope it out. You can tell me what your pricing would be if that
Oh,
works.
yes.
Yeah.
Um, Pricing is the thing I work with my clients on. What what's the book that you're inviting them to read?
Oh, it's called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by
Mm,
Jeffers.
yeah, Susan Jeffers.
Mhm.
That was the first book that was recommended to me after I had been left my first husband.
Wow.
Yeah, um, I didn't find it helpful.
Oh, interesting.
I'm so sorry to say
That's
that.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah, because it was, like I was terrified that he would find me and kill me. And so I was still going out there and doing things and then being exhausted coming home and going, oh,
Mm.
I can't do it. Yeah.
Well, I think this actually is great because we can read the book, they'll have some context to it, and then you can come in and share kind of like a new, maybe elevated way to think about this.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I still have it. So it might be a good opportunity for me to go back and maybe I'll have fresh eyes at it.
Yeah. No, I think this is a great, like, it'll make for great discussion, I think.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's what I really want. I want it to be thoughtful discussion. So, yeah.
Can you give me like I charge anything from $600 an hour to $225 an hour. So like, can you give me
Oh,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
budget idea?
Yeah, I would say definitely on the lower end.
Sure.
So like 250 for an hour. And maybe we would have you just the workshops are 90 minutes.
Perfect.
So we probably have you like you wouldn't have to prepare something for the whole workshop. Maybe it would be 30 minutes.
Okay.
And I'll send you what we have now for the outline of the workshop so you can kind of get a ballpark of what we'll be talking about and the audience that'll be there and everything. And then, yeah, then we can go from there if that
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
Because here's the other thing. Like, I'm happy with would you be okay with 250? Because then what happens? Because I'm happy to get in front of your audience. Because what happens when I get in front of other people's audiences is
Mhm.
there's the transfer of trust.
Mhm.
So I know that there's one to two to three, possibly more of my ideal clients sitting in your group. if they want some deeper individual work. So that's where I
Yes,
am,
exactly. Yeah.
right? So
Right.
like me, and so I would show up to this because it's an opportunity to connect with my
Mhm.
ideal client. So for me, that's gold.
Mhm.
250 to be able to also do that would be fantastic too.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I will send you the details
Sounds good.
um sometime probably before the end of the week. So you can look for my email. It'll come before Friday and I'll send you and then we can keep the ball rolling from there. I'll get you the date of it and everything. So
Thank you.
awesome, Suzanne. What a
I'm
delight. This has
glad.
been so
Thank
fun.
you. It
Yeah,
was great.
thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Yeah,
Talk to you soon.
I hope you have a great day. See
Yeah,
you.
you too. Enjoy. Okay.
Bye.